wrong button, because I've got to put it all the way back up there, and then we can look at the nitty-gritty of this latest session. The first thing I have to say is that at the end of Jason's last go at Foxwoods, pattern betting was nearly 15 grand down when he walked away, and of course that's something that I absolutely never do. You never walk away without a recovery. By all means walk away if you can't make the next bet or whatever, and then you continue to bet at the appropriate level at a new location. But Jason and many other players, just like him on YouTube and in real life, have a habit of doing that, of sort of walking away from a nasty situation and then falling back to a minimum bet next time. So anyway, what happened here is that 14,700 or whatever down, and then bang, 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 look at this over here. We saw a natural and 4 consecutive player wins, and I only track the first base hand. I don't track all of Jason's hands, because I think it's absolute foolishness to place the number of bets that he does. It's just, Alexa, stop. It's just money in the tray for the dealer. Every time the dealer gets a huge made hand or a natural or whatever, it's 3 times as much money pissed up the wall, down the toilet, out the window, whatever. So yeah, it's a bad plan. It's just not the way to go. But that's, I'm always saying, hey, it's his money, his choice, none of my business. I just track Jason because it gives me independent data. My own recorded demos are gold-plated simply because it's quite obvious that they're not edited or mucked with or messed around with or whatever. And I suppose I could be cherry-picking on the blackjack, but I can't do that on the baccarat sim platform, whatever, because the platform chooses the numbers for the shoes, not me. And anybody who's paying attention can see that that they are consecutive and very clearly verifiable as being such. So anyway, Jason missed a chance to make a big dent in his own hole here, and later on there was a winning streak to beat the bloody band, and he didn't do a thing with it. It was just awful. Look at this down here. I mean, what have we got here? We got 9 consecutive wins on the first base shoe, 8 consecutive wins on his second shoe. Sorry, let me start again. 9 consecutive wins on the first base hand, and 8 consecutive wins on the middle hand, because he doesn't usually go above 3. He shouldn't be going above 1, but that's fine. The one guy on YouTube who was very successful at betting multiple hands was Max at MG21, whose wonderful sessions, and there were a lot of them, have all disappeared from YouTube. But he was quite obviously an advantage player, and what he was doing was, when the deck was crap, he was spreading out to multiple hands, dropping the bet value quite considerably, and doing all sorts of stuff that I just cannot imagine why the house, why the pit boss, whatever, let him get away with it. But good for him, I say. I mean, that's clever stuff, and I have no confidence whatsoever in card counting. I've been tracking the deck values, as everybody who's been with me a while knows, throughout Jason's play, and there's no indication that there's any advantage, that there are more bets won when the deck value is positive than when it's negative. And let's be clear, the DV here is the running count. It's not the true count, so it is somewhat misleading. But to me, there's no difference. I mean, the point is that if I needed to, I could count the cards and not count the cards, but build into the algorithm an estimate of how many decks are left in the shoe, and adjust to the true count. But I lost interest in card counting a long time ago, and I just keep doing it just as a kind of a sort of a way of just looking at the card count to see if I'm right about it. But anyway, this was a huge winning streak that Jason just took no notice of. I mean, 500, 500, 1,000, 1,000, 1,500, 1,500, you know, he should have been up there in the tens of thousands, and he would have turned his losses around, like, you know. And you don't know ahead of time. Obviously you don't know ahead of the next bet whether or not it's going to be good, but when you start to see a streak, you need to hammer that sucker. And he could have been out of trouble and back in profit in no time. I was just having a chat with a good friend in California who plays pretty much every day. He plays baccarat, but he's at the casino, at the card room, pretty much 7 days a week and most of the night. How he survives is beyond me. But he does it, and you know, we just both concluded that something really weird is happening. I mean, either Jason is playing differently on camera than he plays off camera when it's, you know, sort of like an opportunity to make some money without the casino paying attention, because obviously when he's filming, they're watching him a lot more closely than when he's not filming. And he may well have casinos that he goes to where he doesn't film at all, so they don't pay any attention to him. I don't know. But, you know, one explanation is that he's making a bunch of money off camera. The other one is, of course, that Foxwoods is taking care of him, and you know, he doesn't suffer as much as it appears. And that's not meant to be insulting or anything like that. It's just that looking at his play, looking at lost opportunities like this that you see in front of you right now, you've got to think something's going on here. I mean, this is a smart guy. You know, he's no dummy. He's got a team of people around him. Something is going on. He is being incredibly sponsored by Foxwoods with I don't know, first class air travel and limos and luxury suites and meals and beverages and so on. So something's up is all I can say. And Jason doesn't communicate with me very often. I keep sending him updates simply because it seems to me the polite thing to do. I mean, I'm getting all this data from him, and it's proving very useful. So just as a courtesy, I feel that it's good for me to let him know what's going on. Anyway, as you can see, as we move over to the middle of this thing, Mr. HP is still up, but he's only up 1.1% of his total action. His total action in these sessions since 15th of March is 2.1 million. Mine is about a third of that at 730,000. Pattern betting is 132,700 ahead, based on the same outcomes, the same data set as Jason's results, and it's 18+%. He went in the hole 32,850, and I was in the hole about 18,000. So, you know, it's a big difference. His action is 2.9 times mine, and his risk is 1.8 times mine. So, you know, it's interesting. He's still managing to win more when he wins than he loses when he loses, so I congratulate him on that. It's 120%, which is a little bit below ideal, but that's okay. His money, his choice. Keep saying that. For me, the average win over the average loss advantage is 148%, or 1.48 to 1. So I prefer that. Looking over here at the win-loss pattern, what we've got is what you expect. And these patterns here, I'll say it for the bazillionth time, these patterns here are what make pattern betting a winner. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you have to pound them, you have to pump when it's going your way, and you have to pull back when it's going against you. It's that simple. Let's see what else we got here. On the deck value thing, where are we? Mr. HP, positive deck value minus 83,000, negative deck value he won 54,000, and a neutral deck value 52,000. For me, positive deck value a loss of 13,000, negative deck value a win of 57,000, and neutral deck value 89,000 to the good. So odd, right? What else we got here? I keep saying I've forgotten what this is. Let's have a look. Average, I don't care. Naturals for me, only for PB. Naturals 4.9%, which is about right. The bonus from 3 to 2 naturals provided 35,000 profit. So that's 26% of the total win. And double downs and splits are, in fact, unusually in these sessions there were more losing double downs and splits than winning ones. That's very, very rare. But still managed to make 26,000 out of them, 26,425, which is 20% of the total win. So this is all stuff that, you know, to all the folks out there who don't give a tinker's toss about the reality, the numbers behind these games, fine. They wouldn't be with me anyway. So I'm doing this for my benefit, for Mr. HP's benefit if he wants to actually learn from it, but he's getting this stuff from me as a courtesy. Anybody who is paying attention to the numbers can see that doing things my way makes money consistently, which is not to say that from time to time I don't have to dig deep. I'm betting from 25 to 25,000, and that matching, pretty much matching Jason's min and max. Well, he doesn't go close to a minimum of 25, but that's his problem. Very, very wrong the way he does things, in my opinion. His money, his choice, right? But I had 5 maximum bets. Where are they? They're down here at the point where I recovered, I think. Most of the time, as you can see, bets are really tiny. You know? Oh, and I did mean to do that thing where I look at how much money you make from little bets and how much money you make from big bets. Oh, I can't find this thing now, excuse me. Okay. Got pretty hairy there, but down here somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, we went to 25,000, and then finally we got a double down, which paid double, as double downs do if you win them, and it got us out of trouble. We were 20,438 in the hole. Bet the max, double down. Got a nice bonus, which put us up 30,000 whatever. But the main thing is, of course, that when we started the session, and look at this. I mean, I went down theoretically 45,000 plus, but that didn't come off the bankroll. I think the bankroll is over here somewhere. Yeah, the bankroll is down this column. And the bankroll was stretched when there was 45,463 in the hole there. The bankroll was less than 18,000 stretched. So, you know, I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, look at us. We got 132,700 ahead. Damnation, that's good. So, there we are. So I will end this now and slam it into the editor just to cut the size of it. I didn't realise until recently that when you put these videos through the editing program, it cuts the size of them by about 80%, and that's not a bad thing, is it? I don't have infinite storage, but I do have a pretty large. I think it's a terabyte, or maybe it's 5 terabytes. I don't know. It's big. Anyway, okay, folks. Yeah, something. Sorry, stupid I did was I meant to do this sort of high-low comparison, which I've done with several other models, and I keep meaning to put it into the Mr. HP one and forgetting. You know, I'm getting on a bit. I mean, I do forget shit. So, anyway, here's the story. Pattern betting results only, because it just doesn't work with Jason because he's all over the place. But bets of 500 and less, 916 of those, which is 89% of all bets, they end up winning $900, which is 0.7 of the total win. 117 bets of 501 or more, 11% of the total number of bets. The total win is 131,800, which is 99.3% of the total win. And I have been saying, and I'm always getting this feeling that I'm beating my head against a brick wall, but obviously I love beating my head against a brick wall because I've been doing it for years. But what I always say is have a minimum as low as you can make it, and a maximum as huge a multiple of your minimum as you can manage. Certainly not less than 1,000. And if you can start out at 5 and go to 50,000, do it. As the Godfather pizza people used to say. It's the little bets are meaningless. All they do is that they just point you in the right direction. They're just there as sort of window dressings, smoke and mirrors, whatever. But anyway, that's the bottom line there as far as high-low bets are concerned. $500 is the low. So just to repeat, 89% of all bets are in that range. And they produce 0.7% of the total profit, and 11% are above in the higher range, and they produce 99.3% of the profit. So I think we can take it that I wasn't lying to you when I said that what you need to do is you need to have as low a minimum as you can possibly manage. And a maximum which is as wide a spread, as big a multiple of your minimum as you can possibly manage. And of course, the bigger your bankroll, the more you can kick ass, because the casinos have no defense against this. Yes, they can back you off. Yes, they can throw you out. They can do all sorts of things, but there are just so many casinos now, online casinos, blah blah blah. I'm yet to start my fight through the Gambling Commission in the UK, where I told you about this in one of my demos. One of the online places that I was playing, they had a minimum of £1 and a maximum of 2,500, which suited me down to the ground. Then when I got to a bet above 500 quid, as we call it in the UK, all of a sudden it said you have reached the table maximum. And of course it wasn't the table maximum according to the way they promoted it when they got me into the game. So I'm going to raise this with the Gambling Commission. But frankly, I have no faith in the UK Gambling Commission whatsoever. They're a bunch of wankers. They only work for the gambling industry, and every so often they make a big fuss about how they're fining this and they're doing that. And frankly, I think it's all bloody just fireworks. It's just fakery. And as soon as the press release with the big fine has been put out, then whoever it is who has been fined doesn't actually have to pay. So that's how it is. But certainly, with the thing with the Gambling Commission in the UK is that the law says that there can be no cost to the public purse of the Gambling Commission, so it's entirely funded by license fees, and if any fines are actually applied, it's probably maybe it's 1% I don't know, but it has to be completely funded by revenue from the gambling industry. That's the law. So anyway, I'm done now. Finally, talk to you later.